What the veterinarians found in this cat's stomach will wow you. As unfortunate as it may be, strays have no one to care for them and frequently develop health issues and urgent medical needs. Even while these terrible illnesses might occasionally take an animal's life, there are also the fortunate ones who are saved by kind humans and recover from their maladies. You won't believe what the veterinarian found in this cat's stomach. Just take a look. Unwanted cat's belly is full with juice. This is not a genuine tale about a stray cat. It is a very important lesson, though, and one that many animal lovers would find helpful. With their fluffy coats, lively nature, and unique personalities, cats are among the most popular pets in the world, and it's easy to understand why. Regretfully, they are among the world's most neglected animals. One day, a good-hearted woman happened to see one of these stray cats. But unlike other cats, this one had a tummy so big it seemed like it may explode at any moment. The animal could not walk or move very much, indicating that it was in discomfort. For hours on end, it would either lie down or sit at first. The woman thought that the cat might be pregnant and was having trouble giving birth, but she did not want to touch the cat's stomach for fear of hurting it, as it was so bloated. Worried for the kitty's health, the selfless woman quickly packed it into an animal carrier and took it to the vets. Once at the hospital, the vet quickly took the animal in for an examination. He pressed on the feline's stomach to try and determine what was wrong, but it was too difficult to know for sure what was troubling the cat. So, he ordered an X-ray to be certain. The result of the scan didn't surprise the vet, but unfortunately, it wasn't kittens. It seems that there was a lot of liquid in the cat's stomach. The veterinarian acted quickly to save the cat's life, bringing it into surgery where more than 2 liters of fluid were removed from its abdomen. Fortunately, the cat might still be saved since the personnel took quick action. She was placed for adoption when her recovery was complete, and she was soon prepared to move in with her family to live in her new permanent home. Happily ever after is a wonderful ending to any narrative, even if it is fictitious. But don't worry. I'll soon be sharing some true tales of cats receiving assistance. Egyptian cat rescued from the streets with serious injuries. I think it's safe to say that this little boy has definitely used up one of his 9 lives, if that's really the case. Ali, an Egyptian Mao child of 1 year, was saved from the streets of Egypt in 2016 after being abandoned there. Sadly, in the process of striving to live, the unfortunate cat cut himself badly, necessitating a trip to the Cairo vet. But the cat's wound turned out to be rather serious, and he ultimately needed to have his tail removed. His rescuer thinks the cat's wounds and broken tail were caused by something striking it, or by it being hooked on something sharp. However, it appeared that Ali needed more attention and care than Cairo's veterinarians could provide. Thanks to the generosity of the Catherine McCullough Award, the Fancy Cats Rescue Team was established in 1997 with the goal of providing assistance to stray and abandoned cats that have little chance of surviving on the streets because of disease, injury, desertion, or old age. We learned of 2 cats that were facing financial difficulties in Cairo, stated Angela Bell, a Fancy Cats volunteer who was instrumental in securing the Egyptian cat's transportation to Washington, D.C. We welcomed these unfortunate people into our home after being solicited for assistance. Sadly, one of the cats died after arriving in America, and Ali may have become a feral cat himself if Belle, Ali's foster mom, hadn't noticed his pessimistic outlook. Belle hurried Ali to the veterinarian, where it was determined that his intestinal obstruction was probably the result of a prior surgery. After 2 more surgeries, Belle was reunited with the spirited cat, who was making a full recovery. When I picked him up at the vet, he was more like his normal self, talkative and alert, Belle stated, referring to the little 7-pound cat. We have to keep him in a cat condo until everything heals completely, but he wants to run and explore everything. He is currently taking medicine, and we are keeping an eye on him. He is a cat with particular requirements. Ali was placed for adoption once he recovered completely and was subsequently adopted by a family who could provide for all of his needs, special or not. That cat is really fortunate and grateful for her second opportunity at life. He's not alone, though. Take a look at the following tale of a stray kitten who needs a lot of assistance. Cats can get into a lot of trouble sometimes, but one of the most common places they get stuck is, you guessed it, up a tree. This is what happened to a desperate kitten back in 2020. The cat looked to be a young stray that needed immediate veterinary attention, but first she needed to be rescued from her dangerous perch. On a rainy day, we heard a mournful meow in the street, on a tree. The kitten was trapped and could not go down to the ground, the rescuer said in the video he recorded while saving the cat. In the video, the tiny animal could just barely be seen sitting among some branches in a very tall tree. Her savior then propped a tall ladder next to the tree and began climbing up. It was a race to get the kitty down before she fell, but happily, the rescuer was able to grasp her by the scruff of her neck and pull her down to solid ground again. But his efforts to aid her did not end there. Noticing how cold and unwell she appeared, the rescuer decided to give the cat a bath to remove her nasty and matted fur. She was given a bowl of food once she was cleaned up because it appeared like she hadn't eaten in a long time. She has since been brought to the veterinarian and given care to get well. She is now living with her forever family, who make sure to show her how much they care every day, though they might keep her away from trees. Sick and cold. Stray knocks on woman's window for help on Valentine's Day in 2020. A sick and cold stray cat decided to take matters into his own hands and get the help he needed. The woman was sitting in her home in Quebec, Canada, when she heard a strange noise coming from the back. Curious, she went to investigate and discovered a large orange cat pawing at her window, looking worse for wear and freezing. Feeling terrible for the stray kitten, the woman phoned her local cat shelter, and rescuer Marie Simard started to work, bringing him back to health. It broke my heart to see him, so I told her to take the cat to the vet, and not even 30 minutes later he was at our partner clinic, Marie added. He entered the carrier by himself, and he was very laid back at the veterinarian. He allowed the veterinary to perform the examination, blood work, and x-rays. The cat was not wild at all. Because of his friendly demeanor, Marie initially thought the cat was just lost, but he wasn't neutered and didn't have a microchip. The crew named the cat Aslan after the lion in Narnia, after realizing they wouldn't be able to identify any owners. However, they were concerned that he may not survive. Aslan had decaying teeth, frostbite, a bite wound, fleas, worms, diabetes, and a skin allergy. Because of his extremely poor blood work, he needed to be stabilized in the hospital for many days before being sent to his foster home, according to Marie. But eventually, he was able to get surgery to fix his decaying teeth and his cataract-starting eyes. He was placed with a foster family that could take care of all of his specific requirements while he recovered. But as it turns out, Aslan's kind disposition was too seductive for his foster family, and they ended up adopting him. Now he is enjoying the remainder of his life comfortably, warm, and very much loved. Thank God he was savvy enough to knock on that window. Like Aslan, this next cat required veterinary care after it was eventually taken from the streets. Saved. Cat with serious injuries. In February 2021, a sweet cat with a drooping ear and a nasty neck wound was finally healed enough by the Cats Protection Charity and was ready to go to his forever home. Early that February, a jet black street cat named Bobby came into the custody of the Weymouth, UK Cats Protection Department. He had an open wound on his neck, most likely from an abscess that had burst from a bite or scratch. After being transported to the veterinarian, the wound was treated, and he underwent testing for several illnesses, including pneumonia. At the end of the month, the cat, who turns out to be about 10 years old, was able to be placed for adoption after making a full recovery. Bobby is a really nice cat, despite his worn-out appearance, according to branch coordinator Gloria Ashwell. Though he may have a tough exterior, he is a social butterfly. Since settling into his cozy, heated enclosure, he has been speaking with me and loves to roll on his window seat and see the world. Fortunately, he has now located a new residence where he may live out the rest of his days in care. Adopting an animal from your local shelter is a great idea if you are able to do so, since they are still in need of love and affection.